Good evening, everyone. My name is Luda Saharov.
And my name is Ryan Smith.
And we are the co-chairs of the Hillsboro Youth Advisory Council.
We're excited to be here tonight to celebrate all the amazing achievements of our city this past year. And we're even more excited to introduce everyone's favorite mayor, with the possible exception of the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
Former principal, city council mayor, current mayor, and namesake of Clark Bistro's Callaway sandwich.
Please join us in welcoming Mayor Steve Callaway.
Well, good evening, and it is so good to be here. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to our honor guard for your presentation tonight and your service to us all throughout the year. Thank you, Gail Ritt, for your incredible rendition. It was great to see you down at the Grammys, and we're glad you are back here in Hillsboro where you belong. Thank you, Robbie. It is great to have you a part of this without the interim title, and we appreciate your work with us, and we look forward to many, many more years of work together. Now, some of you are wondering, what is this? My wife might say it looks like a do-it-yourself project that I started, but that's not true. But you will find out before the end of the night, and you will remember it for many nights to come. And to my beloved community, thank you again for being here. It is hard to believe that this is my fourth state of the city, and your presence every year adds so much to that. You are our friends and partners, and you tell it to me straight. And including, earlier this year when I was at one of our elementary schools, and, we had a question time, and as is with the case with a lot of kids, their question is more of a comment. And so this one young man said, "My dad doesn't like you." And I said, "Well, what about your mom?" And he said, "She thinks you're okay. And I like you too." And I'm thinking, all right, 2 out of 3. That's not bad. That's not bad. And you know what? When you're mayor, you are grateful for 2 out of 3. But you're always aware of that one. Because whether it's a single policy or a philosophy, you think about everyone. And sometimes you think about those people that maybe you disagree with more often than you think about those who you have those commonalities. But you don't dismiss people just because we disagree. And so everyone counts. Everyone's position, everyone's opinion counts. And that's true as ever, especially as we come up with the 2020 census count. And that's why tonight's theme is You Count, We Count, Hillsboro Counts. Now it says right here, pause for applause. Thank you. Okay, that was so much, it was almost patronizing, but I'll take it. So we will be talking about the census tonight, but before we do, I want to recognize the 5 city councilors who are here tonight because I count on them every single day. And so if you would hold your applause till the end, but Olivia Alcaire, would you please stand and wave to folks? Kyle Allen, Anthony Martin, Beach Pace, and Rick Van Beveren. We thank you for your service to our community, and we especially thank your families and your support networks. We recognize how important those are because we couldn't do the work we do without your support. And as a small gesture of gratitude, we have something for you to take home tonight at the end. If you want to re-gift it to your spouse, for Valentine's Day, that would be okay too. But we do have those for you to take home tonight. And I also want to say a very special thank you to my wife, Joan, for all the years, for the 4 years that she has supported me as mayor and the 30-plus years before that. So thank you very, very much. Now, you'll notice that there's one counselor who's not here tonight in person, but we were able to track him down. And so I would like you all to give a warm Hillsboro welcome to our esteemed council president, Fred Noctegal. Hey! Fred,
but give me a moment to fill my glass.
All right, this is a good time. He's just going to go fill his glass. And, you know, we are very appreciative to you for letting us interrupt your vacation. And we're thinking about moving the state of the city next year to Spain to make it easier for you to attend one of these. What do you think?
Hey, I go to Spain every year. It's not my fault that you can't schedule it correctly. But I like the idea of moving it over here.
Well, good. Thank you for that feedback. We'll remember that.
Definitely. In fact, I'm hoping Pozo Blanco, Spain becomes a sister city so I can be Hillsboro's official ambassador.
Well, you know what? I would nominate your wife, Gail, over you.
Good call.
Thank you.
Either way, I plan to have a bigger role in next year's State of the City. We'll see how it all shakes out in November.
But you're termed out and can't run. I'm the one running for re-election.
Oh, you'll be the first to know. I'll call you, just like you called me.
All right, well, I hope so. I think Fred's awfully thirsty. Now, Fred, you've lived here in Hillsboro for, what, 63 years?
I've lived in Hillsboro longer than the rest of the council combined, except for Rick. He's an old-time Hillsboroite, just like me.
Well, you are definitely a fixture, and you've been on council for 7 years. So what is it you're looking forward to in this last year of service?
Well, I'm proud of our efforts to revitalize downtown Hillsboro. There's still a ways to go, but we've provided a home for bag and baggage, and they are a major draw. I'm also looking forward to opening of the community center at 53rd Avenue and the opening of the fire training center.
Good.
As always, I want this to be a very safe year for all of our people and first responders who put themselves in harm's way to keep us safe.
Well, I think that's something that we can all agree on. Thank you very much, Fred, for taking the time to talk to us, and we will see you
Goodbye,
soon.
everyone.
All right. Council President Fred Noctegal, everyone. Now, I will tell you, I will miss Fred when he's gone because I've appreciated his wisdom, his perspective, and Fred, get out of here. Go back to your vacation. All right. Hillsboro is committed to serving all community members through equitable and inclusive policies and practices. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are Hillsboro City Council priorities and principles, but our work goes beyond that. Now, 2020 marks the 150th anniversary of the 15th Amendment, which established voting rights for Black men following the Civil War. And this year also marks the 100th anniversary for the 19th Amendment, which secured the right for women to vote. Now, my grandmother was born in 1896 and didn't gain the right to vote until she was in her 20s. And so we think in some ways that 100 years ago is a long time, and it is, but it isn't, because that's just one step away from my family. And it took the women of color and non-English speakers another 4 decades before their right to vote in America was ensured. So it's always up to us to move equity and progress forward, because we're morally obligated as a local government to engage in equity work in order to fulfill our role in helping to move the national trajectory toward a more equal and equitable society. Now, part of our equity statement reads, equity is the pursuit of equal outcomes. And we shouldn't underestimate the role that the city of Hillsboro and its 103,350 residents can play in creating a more just and equitable union. And as a city, we know that there are not enough voices at the table and that we must have a bigger table with more seats, more diverse perspectives and leadership so that we can make better decisions and achieve better policy outcomes for all people. Now, I'd like to thank our Assistant City Manager, Simone Brooks, and our city's equity team for their role in championing equity work with our city. And this year, we bring this focus on equity into supporting the 2020 census. So I'd like to invite Councilor Olivia Alcaire to join me up here to talk about what we're doing to make sure every person in Hillsboro is part of the census, because you count, we count, and Hillsboro counts. Olivia.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Buenas noches y bienvenidos a este sitio aquí. I'm very happy to be here and very proud to serve as your city councilor, and I am here to talk to you about counting. So I know I've participated in my fair share of census counts, and I see probably a lot of people have done the same thing. This might be the first time for some people, so I'm going to go through some information and explain to you why you should count. And you should be concerned about everybody else that you know counts too. So, I'm counting on the kids who live on my street, the kids who learn in my school, the thousands of people who use our libraries every day, and I'm counting on all of you. All of us have a responsibility to be counted in the census and to help others be counted as well. The census brings billions of dollars to Oregon each year. $13.4 billion in 2016. That money goes to state, to counties, cities, Metro, TriMet, and many other partners. Many of you here in the room. And it comes right here to Hillsboro. The money supports programs, a lot of support programs that we have people in this city who desperately rely on these. They include Head Start, WIC, SNAP, TANF, Medicaid, Medicare, education, school breakfast and lunch programs, student loans, child care, home energy assistance, and so much more. People rely on these services a lot, and we need to make sure that we have access to those things. For every person who is not counted, we lose the funding. Those programs lose funding, and we all lose when somebody's not counted. The census is not about citizenship, as the Constitution calls for everyone to be counted. And although in the past some people have been left out of the census count, starting now, we intend to include all people within our city, regardless of residency status, language, religion, gender, and age, and who have been historically left out. Because they matter, don't they? The City of Hillsboro is working with We Count Oregon campaign and many of our community partners to get everyone counted. We are getting the word out, and we're offering census support at our libraries. You're going to be tired of hearing about the census by the time we're done. And that's good, because then you'll get to hear about all the funding that we're going to have too. April 1st, no kidding, is Census Day, so don't forget. There are only 9 questions on the census, and you can answer them on the phone, by mail, or for the first time ever, online. So there's no excuse, right? If everyone in Oregon is counted in the 2020 census, there might be a 6th congressional seat in Oregon. And maybe the kind I like. This would help our values and priorities be represented in Washington, D.C. You count, we count, Hillsboro counts. Thank you very much. Mayor?
Thank you, Councilor Alcaire. And you know what? Congresswoman Alcaire has a nice ring to it too. So now the button that I'm wearing is one of the many ways that we are getting the word out. And we've placed one inside each of the bags at your seat, and we have more out in the foyer. And right now, we will debut the City of Hillsboro's 2020 Census Outreach video shot by City of Hillsboro employee Colin Militich. Again, you'll be seeing this video on social media many times in the months ahead.
¿Sabe por qué es importante contar a cada persona de Hillsboro este censo del 2020?
Hillsboro 市所取得服务人民的资金将取决于回复人口普查的人数。
Responding to the census helps pay for our public schools, free and reduced lunch for students, and preschool programs like Head Start.
Responding to this census ensures that local hospitals and medical services are accessible to all.
Responder el censo es seguro, su información está protegida y no será compartida ni podrá ser utilizada en su contra.
El censo no tiene ninguna pregunta sobre ciudadanía. Simplemente es necesario y muy importante saber cuántas personas viven en Hillsboro.
You can respond to the census online, by mail, or by phone.
Nếu quý vị có thắc mắc về việc trả lời cho điều tra dân số hoặc cần trợ giúp điền vào tờ đơn của quý vị, xin vui lòng đến bất kỳ thư viện nào ở Hillsboro.
Please tell your family members, friends, and neighbors how important it is to complete the census and count every person living in your home.
Because you count.
Nosotros contamos.
Now, we're also making a countywide version of this video to share with all of our partners to help get everyone in Washington County counted, because you can't spell county without count. So, you may use that, Chair Harrington. This year, we will continue to seek new ways to connect, inform, and engage with community members, from our city website that translates into 103 different languages to our City Views newsletter that goes to every mailbox in Hillsboro, our Creciendo Juntos Spanish language news to our Happening in Hillsboro email newsletter, our social media channels, our many face-to-face conversations with community members at events, open houses, meetings, libraries, Senior Center, the Civic Center, and beyond. These communication channels will help us with the 2020 census. Now, Councilor Snyder on Tuesday night said one of his goals is to see that Tigard is the highest, has the highest response. Oh, what did I say? Oh, I'm sorry, okay. I was so focused on his challenge, but anyway, he said, bottom line, Tigard's better. So we accept that challenge, and we are going to work our very best to make sure that we achieve the same degree of participation and response. Thank you, Governor. So counting everyone is part of our equity work, and it's only a small part of what we're doing. In 2018, Hillsboro supported the Coalition of Communities of Colors report, Leading with Race. In 2019, we acknowledged the importance of racial equity in providing exceptional public services, and we committed to achieving equity throughout our organization. We have much to do in pursuit of equity, but we have much to build on. And you can see that in our community events, including our city's first Pride Party, our participation in El Grito, the Rang Bars Festival of Colors, and the Chamber's Latino Cultural Festival. And it was wonderful to take part in Hillsboro's first Ethiopian celebration and to have the Peruvian Festival here as well. Equity is about creating space for influence and opportunity for marginalized and impacted community members to define their own success. One way is we celebrate, and this year we celebrate Lisa Oakes as the Oregon Resource Association's Employee of the Year. Lisa works in our city manager's office and at the Brookwood Library. She was recognized for her impact in the community and advocacy for supported employment. And we continue to create new employment opportunities for bilingual community members within our city government through the JTOP, or Job Training Opportunities Program. We held a citizenship ceremony at Brookwood Library where 50 people from 28 different countries became American citizens. And to be a part of that was one of the highlights and most meaningful moments that I've had as mayor. We continued free lunches and summer activities at the Outpost at Chute Park and Camp Eagle, our summer camp for youth experiencing homelessness. And as I look around the room at our YAC members, you all reflect here and up front, you all reflect our entire community in its diversity and our bright future. And I want to thank YAC advisor Dorian Russell, herself a former YAC member. Thank you for all you do. And where is Dorian? Would you? There you are. Thank you. And I want to congratulate our new youth coordinator, Rania Ayub. And it was Rania, yes. And it was Rania who designed our You Count, We Count, Hillsboro Counts logo. She also does, yeah, oh, that's cool. She also designed the advertisement for free supervised play for children at Outdoors Inn during city council meetings. This means parents can attend a city council meeting without worrying about a babysitter, without having to pay for a babysitter or find a babysitter, which for many is a barrier to participating and learning more about our city. Now, the first parent to use this program to attend city council meetings is here tonight. So Megan Nace, wave to us. There you are, thank you. Thank you for your involvement and interest in our community, and as you know, we're also offering that tonight during this event. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, there's still time to grab your kids, drop them off at Outdoors Inn, and because we still have about an hour and a half to go. And just kidding. So as I invite Councilor Rick Van Beveren to join me up here, let's take a look inside Outdoors Inn to see what kind of craziness the kids are up to.
Oh, Naziah, please, you must slide first. Maybe you want to slide down first, please.
Well, not quite what I expected to see, but I'm glad we did, and it just shows that we have the most adorable and the politest children right here in Hillsboro. Now, we wear many hats as city council members, but not these hats. Good timing. So Rick is here to share our appreciation for Hillsboro's first responders who keep our community safe.
Thank you, President Callaway. We're all getting a promotion, apparently.
Yeah.
Our police and fire professionals know working together is critical. They're partners from the front lines to the command staffs, and their teamwork keeps everyone safer, including themselves. I have a little story to share. Perhaps some of you know that we own the Reedville Cafe, and some years ago, we had a fire. We had a fire that we couldn't put out. It was in our kitchen. And so we, of course, called 911, and within minutes, our fire service responded, put out the fire, probably saved at least our kitchen, perhaps our restaurant. So I've gained, at that moment, a new appreciation for fire protection and the quality of it that we enjoy in our city. So I want to thank the fire department for that, and I hope it never happens again. In 2019, rescue officially became part of the name of the Hillsboro Fire and Rescue Department. They will always be there for fire protection, but frankly, most of their calls are in response to emergency medical calls. Our fire department takes great pride in being a resource and partner to jurisdictions outside of the city of Hillsboro. In fact, last year, 4 Hillsboro Fire and Rescue crew members helped out at the Kincaid Fire in California, and it was a huge blaze, as you recall. Just down the street from here, when our fire training center's new burn tower is completed this year, our partners from Cornelius and Forest Grove and beyond will have access to train their personnel. So we like to share with our other municipalities. Led with excellence by Chief David Downey. Stand up, Downey. Our fire and rescue department has great people, great equipment, great facilities, and all of it provides great protection. The same is true for our police department. We want to recognize Interim Chief Jim Coleman. Where's Jim? Jim, stand up. Jim recently took over for retired Chief Lee Dabrowski. They're both outstanding law professionals and people. And I want to thank you, Jim, for your service and leadership tonight. For the next 20 years, we're going to enjoy a new command center, a mobile command center. It will help our first responders coordinate on the scene of critical events. It will also help educate our community about public safety and create new connections between residents and staff. Our police department listens. They hear often from residents who are concerned about traffic enforcement. Last year, Hillsboro added 2 more police to our traffic enforcement division. And Mayor, now there are 7 full-time officers dedicated to traffic enforcement in school zones, on arterials, watching for speeders, and for drivers who are on their phones. Guilty.
Thank you. And you'll be glad to know that the photo of the sign that says, "I'm a cop, put your phone down," was not taken by a driver on their phone. So thank you, Rick. And in the green bag at your seat, you'll also find a booklet called Take 5 to Survive. Emergency service providers from throughout Washington County work together to help our communities prepare for an emergency. And I want to thank them for this great information, and also thank our Civic Leadership Academy graduates who led the charge in earthquake preparedness. Everyone's safety counts. And throughout our city, every department is working to implement diversity, equity, and inclusion into its everyday work. Our police department is implementing a brand new initiative with an intentional focus on building trust, listening to, and collaborating with specific communities in Hillsboro. Partnering with civic and faith-based organizations, they will reach out to communities of color, LGBTQ community members, and our aging residents. And this initiative will include specific focus on how our community policing can produce better outcomes for all people. Now, as we turn to projects in Hillsboro, I want to acknowledge that this is the Hillsboro Chamber of Commerce's 125th year in existence. And where is Deanna Paul? So Deanna is the executive director, the president of the chamber, and just does remarkable work. And try to imagine what was going on in Hillsboro 125 years ago. Only Fred Noctegal knows for sure. And he's not here to tell us, and we don't have a video for it either. But we do want to say congratulations to Deanna and her entire team and the board for their impressive work helping to keep Hillsboro's economy strong. Our economy is a big reason why we have such a high quality of life and why we have tremendous parks and libraries and public safety services and streets and schools. Our economic competitiveness and our employment growth creates new opportunities each day for our residents and for our community to continue to succeed. Every business counts. Every job counts. And with the Chamber's support, we saw 27 ribbon cuttings, brand new businesses this year. And we saw the launch of Hill Hub, an incubator for startups and entrepreneurs to propel their small business ideas forward with shared office space. This idea, pushed by Hillsboro Civic Leadership Academy graduates in 2017, is now a reality. In 2019, our economic development team, led by Director Dan Diaz, supported substantial new investments by Hillsboro employers, including a continued expansion of our high-tech industry cluster. This includes Gyra, Qorvo, and of course Intel, which is working to add 1 million square feet of wafer fabrication space to its Ronler Acres campus. And to our Intel representatives tonight, thank you for being a partner with Hillsboro and investing with us. Intel remains Oregon's largest employer with more than 22,000 employees here in Hillsboro and Washington County. Genentech. Genentech broke ground on a 130,000 square foot expansion project that will add 150 new jobs once construction is complete this year. Metafab and FiberSensis moved forward on their expansion projects, and Metafab is completed and it's been dedicated, and it is awesome. And we've also seen significant supply chain investments. Semiconductor supplier JSR Micro has invested $100 million to build a new 80,000 square foot North Hillsboro facility to make its cleaning solutions, and it's scheduled to begin operations later this year. It's important to note this is their company's first U.S. facility outside of California. We have representatives from Edwards Vacuum who are here tonight, and they opened their new North American Semiconductor headquarters right here in Hillsboro. And Scott, where are you? We want to say thank you. Okay, they're busy working. That's good. That's good. So Comico is currently building a 60,000 square foot facility that will add 110 jobs. And PGE is investing $200 million in infrastructure upgrades to improve the reliability of our electrical grid and to add 600 megawatts of capacity. PGE is also constructing a new Evergreen substation, expanding the Chute substation, and upgrading the Brookwood, Orenco, and Maine substations. In South Hillsboro, the Roseway substation features smart grid testbed technology, making it a virtual power plant. So thank you to PGE for your investments and your partnership with our city. And we will. Now, to bring all of these projects to reality as quickly as possible, our building team, led by Director Amy Williams, has its inspectors reviewing plans and providing on-site inspections outside of traditional work hours and on the weekends. Businesses know that Hillsboro has experts who are responsive and know how to help get a complicated project completed safely and quickly. And that's why Hillsboro's Brooke Cooper was honored as Oregon's 2019 Permit Technician of the Year. In North Hillsboro, our enterprise zone encourages businesses to locate in Hillsboro and funds valuable programs, like the Prosperidad Economic Empowerment Center, which has helped nearly 1,200 English and Spanish-speaking job seekers since 2017. The Enterprise Zone has supported 14 more food entrepreneurs through the Cocinemos program and 50 more student scholars in the PCC Future Connect program. The city's most recent $125,000 contribution from the Hillsboro's Enterprise Zone brings our total commitment and total support for PCC Future Connect to 350 scholars from Hillsboro and more than $750,000 since 2013. We want to continue to fund these important programs, continue the momentum that we have in attracting and retaining employers here in Hillsboro and in Oregon. Our Enterprise Zone program and our Strategic Investment program are both incredibly successful, and they're achieving exactly what we set out to accomplish. And that's why we continue to advocate and will continue to advocate with our legislators and at the state level for maintaining our Enterprise Zone program and Strategic Investment program without attaching any new policies that cut against the purpose of the program, because we don't want anything to impact their success and the life-changing community programs that rely on our Enterprise Zone for funding. Now, here in downtown Hillsboro, many business owners are making storefront improvements. OHSU Health continues to invest in its Hillsboro Medical Center campus, including the addition of OHSU Dornbecker Children's Hospital services for babies and children right here in Hillsboro. And at the corner of 4th and Main, the Merrill Gardens project will create 141 market-rate housing units for seniors who want independent or assisted living. And the Washington County Fair Complex, the Wingspan Event Center, is nearing completion ahead of this year's 10-day Washington County Fair. This $46 million project was funded mostly by the county, but it includes $8 million from Hillsboro from our transient lodging tax revenues. And we are so excited to have this destination conference center here in Hillsboro. So congratulations to the county. Hillsboro is a great... Hillsboro is a great visitor destination, and we've added 6 new hotels and nearly 700 hotel rooms in the past 5 years, with 7 more hotels and more than 700 rooms in the planning stage. This includes the recent announcement of the 4-story, 76,000 square foot Cedar Tree Hotel and Restaurant. It will offer a unique experience found nowhere else in the Northwest because it's a Japanese-style hotel. It will have a full sake bar, the outdoor bath, and they're coming here to Hillsboro in part because of the 23 Japanese-owned businesses that are here. And there is so much more. We have farmers market, Top Golf, We're the home of Leica and their Oscar-nominated Golden Globe-winning film, Missing Link. We have Hops Baseball, and we have Counselor Beach Pace riding her electric scooter inside the Civic Center. We have it all. Beach, you're right on time to talk about our sustainability initiatives.
Thank you, Mayor Callaway. We got to keep it rolling. All right. So let's cover a year of sustainability work in about 3 minutes. Ready?
Go.
Set. Go. Okay. First, let's give it up for our YAC members. And their work to reduce plastic bags. You didn't even know why you were clapping, right? Plastic bags. These teenagers brought their ideas here to the Civic Center and made it a city law. Then they kept going and they kept going by car, not by electric scooter. They kept going and testified in Salem, helping make it a state law. Here they're taking a victory pose with Representative Janine Solomon and Governor Kate Brown as she signed the bill into law. They changed the city and state policy forever. Congratulations again to the YAC. Next, who's ready for some food waste composting? That's exactly what I thought. Starting this weekend, food scraps can go into your yard waste bin. We're kicking off our food composting program thanks to Sustainability Manager Peter Brandom and our contracted waste haulers who worked hard to see this through. We also want to thank our partners at Washington County, Cornelius, and beyond for all the teamwork to improve our air quality program through the Wood Stove Exchange program. In the past 3 years, we've helped to change out hundreds of wood stoves with cleaner burning stoves. Great job, everybody. Yes. There's still so much more to get to, though, so hang on. Okay. So we're working to support energy-efficient homes. We are now a Bee City USA community, helping our pollinators not only to survive, but thrive. That's right. That deserves a clap. We're a Tree City USA community. In the last 2 years, we've planted more than 40,000 trees in Hillsboro. 40,000. Most of them are at the Jackson Bottom Wetlands Preserve. I'm out there all the time, and I have witnessed each of those trees go in. We are America's #1 green power community again, as we have been for 5 years running. That's amazing. And we are working to make it easier to power our vehicles with electricity. I'd also like to give a big shout out to PGE and PGE CEO Maria Pope. You can see Maria with Mayor Callaway, Councilor Allen, and Representative Solomon. This is at the grand opening of the PGE Electric Avenue charging station at the Sunset Esplanade. They're in front of one of the fast chargers for electric vehicles. And you should know that Mayor Callaway has an electric car, Councilor Allen has an electric car, Councilor Martin has an electric bike, and of course I have an electric scooter. So we are all in when it comes to sustainability. It's my time to roll out. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Beach. And did you know that we have reduced greenhouse gas emissions from city operations by 30% since 2007? It's true. And we've cut energy use by 26% in our city since 2019 in our city facilities. At the same time, we've been adding more buildings and more square footage, such as our Public Works building and Brookwood Library. We walk or roll our talk. So, Councilor Beach Pace, everyone. Our prioritization of sustainability is part of who we are in Hillsboro, and so is our commitment to our libraries. And I'd like to invite Councilor Kyle Allen to book it up here to join me and talk about why Hillsboro libraries remain so special. And it's not just because of all the late fines that I have to pay. So.
That's right. Wow, what an act to follow. So I'm here to talk to you about our libraries, and we know that our libraries are wonderful places. They're open and they're accessible to people of all ages. In fact, in my family, we download ebooks, we download audiobooks, we take them on road trips with us. Our children utilize the library for their homework, and if they're really good, Dad will let them get a video game. So everything's at the library. And we know that you're using these libraries too, because the Brookwood and Chute Park libraries see an average of 2,500 people every single day. Yeah. Some of the busiest in the state. And we know that these libraries are incredibly popular, not just for the video games, but for their books too. So we had several listening sessions in 2019 with the City Council, and 2 of those listening sessions were at our libraries for our city manager recruitment process. And we know that everyone enjoys holding meetings at the library because Metro did, Washington County did, the West Side Economic Alliance did, and even the U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Services held their citizenship ceremony at our library this year. And they're going to hold another ceremony there for citizenship on March 24th. Our library is a place to connect. Each day, our staff, led by Director Stephanie Chase, are working to remove barriers to accessing services. For 5.5 years, Stephanie and her team have been doing important equity work. This past year, both libraries added mobility scooters to improve the equitable access practice, and thanks to the Friends of the Library for that donation, which are very popular among our patrons. Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici also visited our library at Brookwood to learn about the Great Stories Club to serve underserved teens. Hundreds of community members voted online this past year to select the 2020 Hillsboro Reads book, and the winner is In the Country We Love, My Family Divided by Diane Guerrero. And we continue to partner with Bag and Baggage on programming in the library, and our volunteers have created tiny branches at 8 of our city parks, so the libraries are more accessible now than ever, and there's more of those to come. In 2019, the Girl Scouts donated an impressive 1,016 books, and our collaboratory at the Brookwood Library has expanded and enhanced how we support STEM education, STEAM education, include the arts. And there's now a collaboratory at Chute Park as well. This May, the WCCLS maintenance levy is up for renewal. And this levy is extremely important because it supports 15% of the budget for our libraries. So if you love your libraries like I do, support that levy and get out there and vote. Thank you.
And as Councilor Allen said, remember to vote because every vote counts. All right. Our libraries make Hillsboro livable, and so do our parks and recreation facilities. And this year we opened 2 new parks in South Hillsboro. We unveiled a new public art piece on Hillsboro's east side at Amber Glen Park, and we held 2 Showtime concerts there as well. We created a cultural arts district in downtown Hillsboro, and later this year we will celebrate the opening of the Hidden Creek Community Center across the street from 53rd Avenue Community Park. This amazing facility is the largest Parks and Rec project in our city's history. We have an amazing Parks and Recreation department led by Director Dave Militich, and I would like to give all of them a round of applause. Now, last year, there was an incident in one of our parks where a park user directed racist comments toward our staff. And the entire Parks and Recreation Department came together and responded with an amazing sense of professionalism and heart. And our staff showed its professionalism and heart again when we dedicated a bench at Orenco's Central Park to the late Alter Wiener. Alter meant so much to our community, and he successfully lobbied for all Oregon schools to teach students about the Holocaust, which he experienced firsthand. And the heart of our staff and our entire community revealed itself again in November following the tragic death of Nabila Mazuz. Nabila drowned at Shark following her high school swim team's practice. And Nabila's parents, Mustafa and Patty, are here with us tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I met Mustafa and Patty when I was an elementary school principal, and it was as clear then as it is now how much they love their daughter and how much love they will always have in their heart for her. And 3 weeks ago, here in our council chambers, Mustafa, Patty, and their daughter Sarah led a celebration of life for their amazing and beautiful Nabila. Now, Nabila loved soccer, and she also wanted to be a NASA astronaut. It's why she loved studying astronomy, and it's why she learned to swim. She learned to swim when she was 4 because she read that NASA astronauts have to know how to swim. So she's been looking forward to that journey of being an astronaut ever since she was a little girl. And because of her love of astronomy, she had something she called APOW, Astronomy Pictures of the Week. And on November 10th, she made her last entry into APOW, and what she wrote are good words for us to remember. Ride aboard the International Space Shuttle and marvel at the beauty surrounding you. Share that beauty with the world and let humanity see something more. Let people see the merging of the natural and man-made worlds in such a way that preserves the beauty of each, yet coming together to create a sight even more beautiful than that of their own separate paths. So much wisdom from a 14-year-old. Mustafa and Patty have set up a memorial fund in Nabila's honor to support academic excellence, exemplary character, interfaith understanding, and community service. And the website is behind me, and you can donate. The website where you can donate is behind me, and I'd encourage you to take out your phones and take a picture or write it down for later. It's www.oes.edu/support-oes/in-memory. Life is a precious gift, and so is she. A gift to everyone who knew her and everyone who has come to know her. And throughout Hillsboro, there are young people just like Nabila, whose spirit and enthusiasm motivates us in creating a great place to grow up and a great place to be a family. One of those places in Hillsboro that brings families together is the Gordon Faber Recreation Complex, home of the Hillsboro Stadium and Ron Tonkin Field. It's also now home to Portland State University Athletics. And PSU and the city signed a 5-year agreement to host all home football games and women's soccer games there at Hillsboro Stadium, and Portland State women's softball, their home field right across the parking lot from Ron Tonkin Field. We are glad and proud to be home to the Vikings. And if Athletic Director Cleary is here, we would like to acknowledge her. Wasn't sure with her schedule if she was going to make it, but we, again, are delighted to be home for Portland State. Go Vikes. Now, the stadium also hosts concerts. Absolutely. The stadium also hosts concerts, Ducks spring football, and high school championships in soccer and football. Ron Tonkin Field has hosted Oregon State University baseball, University of Portland baseball, and this March, the Tonk will host the USA 2020 Women's Olympic National Team. They'll square off against Oregon State University and Portland State University in a doubleheader. And this year, also in partnership with the Portland Timbers and the Hillsboro Hops, Hillsboro Stadium will host T2, Timbers professional soccer home games, bringing yet another pro team to Hillsboro and fulfilling our vision for Hillsboro as a home for high school, college, and professional sports. In fact, Hillsboro is a city of champions, and there's no better champion than our 3-time Northwest League champion, Hillsboro Hops.
And the Hops scream out of the dugout. Eduardo Herrera, a 1-2-3 ninth inning. The Hillsboro Hops are Northwest League champions for the 3rd time in 7 seasons. They've emptied.
Well, you missed Rich Burke's call, but it was great. The Hops won the championship. And I would like to invite the best mascot in baseball, Barley, to come on down. Well, Barley, it's always nice to have that trophy right back where it belongs, which is in Hillsboro. They did it again in 2019. So congratulations to you and Mike and Laura McMurray and Hops President and General Manager K.L. Wambacher, as well as to all the players, the coaches, and the employees that make the Hops a championship organization. And I'd also like to introduce and say welcome to the new Northwest League President, North Johnson, who is in the back. So welcome. We are glad to have you in the best baseball city in the best baseball league. Now, 7 years in Hillsboro, the Hops have been here, and they've set a league record 6 consecutive years of playoff appearances with 3 championships. So let's give it up again for Barley and the Hops. Now, tickets for the women's Olympic softball team and all Hillsboro Hops games are available at hillsborohops.com. Tickets for T2 are online at timbers.com. And there's so much more, because the jobs that the team creates, the experience for fans, the opportunity for all of us to host players during the summer, this is just one other reasons why the Hops are creating a sports destination for Hillsboro for visitors from near and far. So again, great job, Hops, and thank you, Mr. President, for being here tonight. Now, of course, none of the Hops' success occurs randomly. It's the result of hard work and planning, and the same goes for the city of Hillsboro. Going back many decades, there's a legacy of planning for our growth. And I would like to invite Councilor Anthony Martin, the chair of our Transportation Committee, to join me up here now with his little daughter, Juniper, to talk about our work, don't clap too loud, as a city, making sure we can safely get from one place to another.
Thank you so much, Mayor. First of all, let me introduce you all to my daughter, Juniper. Can you say hi, Juniper? Oh, thank you. Oh. Juniper's up here with me tonight to highlight why we take our transportation planning so seriously. Transportation planning isn't just about getting from one place to another as fast as we can, or about eliminating traffic. Transportation planning is about safety, your safety, Juniper's safety, and everybody's safety. It's about planning years ahead and using available resources to meet our community's greatest needs. We've seen far too many pedestrian fatalities, and our hearts hurt. One is too many. And right now, our city is updating our 20-year transportation system plan that identifies where we will invest in every mode of transportation. Think about the work that improves Cedar Street near Brookwood Elementary with new bike lanes and sidewalks. I'm excited for the students who use Jackson School Road to have similar bike and sidewalk facilities. And if you live along Jackson School Road, you'll see similar benefits when that project is complete. And she wants to tell you guys things. I tell you, she really does. We're also working with our partners like TriMet to expand our public transit options in Hillsboro. In fact, next year, we're going to get 2 new, one north-south and one east-west service routes in the city. We'll see, yeah, that's perfect. We'll see capacity improvements on TV Highway, and our team is going to be working with our partners at Metro and cities and counties across the region to advance a regional transportation funding measure so we can all hashtag #GetMoving2020. Clap for that, that's a good one. I'll wrap this up soon because someone's getting pretty antsy, as you can tell. The city of Hillsboro is dedicated to maintaining and investing in its infrastructure, whether it's the roadways you travel to get here or the underground sanitary sewer and stormwater system that keeps our environment and our population clean, healthy, and safe. If you read the year in review that's in your bag, you'll see how far the transportation utility fee, or TUF, goes to pave and treat our roads. Our great Public Works Department, led by Tom Arnold, deals with the predictable. Every month, every street in Hillsboro is swept, and the unpredictable. Our crews are always standing by when the forecast calls for snow and ice. We take care of our public assets, like the street lights we purchased and converted to LED lights. We take care of our stormwater system and make sure leaves are collected to keep the catch basins from getting blocked. I want to finish by saying we plan ahead and make strategic and targeted investments to keep our city moving, but most importantly, to keep it moving safely. Mayor?
Thank you. I don't know if that's the best job Councilor Martin's ever been or ever done, because nobody was paying attention to you. We were loving your daughter. Thank you. Thank you. Well, housing is also a topic on everyone's mind. And last year, the governor signed House Bill 2001 into law, which called for more middle housing. But the truth is, the city of Hillsboro has long recognized the importance of having a diverse housing supply. Through the decades of work by our planning department, now led by Director Colin Cooper, Hillsboro already has 8,000 townhomes, duplexes, and other so-called middle housing in existing neighborhoods like downtown, Orenco Station, and Amber Glen. And we'll be adding to that number in the master planned South Hillsboro neighborhood, where more than 600 new homes were permitted in 2019. And the demand for housing just simply doesn't end. So in 2019, we also added the Witch Hazel South area into the urban growth boundary to help bring new housing options online. Now, our city was quick to recognize years ago that our region was in a housing crisis, and that's why adding housing has been an ongoing council priority for so long. We're no different than anywhere else. We have community members with real housing needs, and we've been working in recent years to set the foundation for new affordable housing development through property tax exemptions, minimum parking reductions, and the use of city resources, including land and funding. Led by the work of Chris Hardy and Omar Martinez, we've invested in Proud Ground Affordable Home Ownership Program, helping fund the purchase of 9 homes for qualified low-income buyers. And we will continue to work with Proud Ground to acquire about 5 homes per year going forward. We invested in the Washington County Housing Authority's Willow Creek Crossing Apartments at 185th and Baseline. It's located along bus and MAX lines, and the building will open this year, adding 120 units of affordable housing, many of them 2-bedroom apartments. We're excited now about new projects that will make use of the city's portion of funds from the Metro Regional Housing Bond. And to help support the development of new affordable housing, the city is playing an active role by making city-owned sites available. 2 projects that we're working on are an affordable home ownership project near the extension of Century Boulevard in partnership with Habitat for Humanity. Another project concept is on 53rd Avenue near our community park that would support the development of affordable apartments. And we expect this project will be the first use for the city of the Regional Housing Bond. Now, even with the construction of new housing, there will be people who continue to struggle with the issues that result in homelessness. I've spent a lot of time this year talking with many people who have been impacted by homelessness, from those who are experiencing it to those whose business or property has become a part of the conversation. Homelessness is a part of the Hillsboro community as it is in all communities. And we've taken time and dedicated resources to understand the complexity of the issue, and we've partnered with our faith community who has been reaching out and serving this community through their ministries. And we've partnered with local nonprofits financially to expand their services for the growing need. Working with Home Plate, we have funded a full-time outreach worker to assist our youth who are living in unstable housing situations. The shelter at Orenco Station is hosted at Sunrise Church. It's Washington County's only 7-night-a-week cold weather shelter. And they've partnered with us for the creation of a day center. So now people have a place to go during the day to stay warm and to take a shower, do laundry, or access resources. Our police department's homeless liaison officers are part of the Metro Regional Pilot Project. Part of this is passing out trash bags that are collected later, which helps curb illegal dumping. And 2020 will be the 5th year for our Camp Eagle program created by our Community Services Manager, Tammy Cochran. This camp is amazing. It provides a camp experience for children ages 7 to 12 who are experiencing homelessness or housing insecurity. These are kids who might not otherwise get the opportunity for a summer camp experience. And when you see the promise of these bright children, it melts your heart and gives you hope for their future. The City of Hillsboro recognizes that we have a large role to play in supporting community members experiencing homelessness. And there's a similar recognition of our role as a city in ensuring all families are connected to the internet. In 2019, we announced Highlight, a high-speed fiber broadband, internet, and phone service provided by the City of Hillsboro for the benefit of our community. This essential service will offer high-speed internet service that's affordable, and it will be for everyone. Our Bridge program will offer a $10 monthly rate for those who struggle to afford the internet, and the speed will be the same, 1 gigabit. Now, the first 2 areas to be activated will be South Hillsboro and the Southwest Hillsboro area around Chute Park, which has the lowest broadband connectivity rate in our city. It's also one of the 2 lowest connected rates in our entire metro area. So thanks to our partnership with the Hillsboro School District, the first 8 schools are being connected to the fiber network, with additional sites being tested as we speak. And this network will be the foundation for connecting students to digital education resources and fast, reliable internet access for the entire school district at substantial annual savings. This is big. And our community has never been afraid to dream big. The Hillsboro 2035 Community Plan and its predecessor, Hillsboro 2020, is proof of how our neighbors' thoughts and ideas can become a reality. And this past year, our 2035 Community Plan team of volunteers led by city employee Daisha Backham worked tirelessly to collect about 8,000 ideas from 4,000 community members. People want more cultural events, more parks, more crosswalks, and much more. And this year, we'll update the 2035 plan with new lead community partners to turn those ideas into achievements. Now, as we finish up tonight, you are in for a treat, as if this hasn't been a treat enough for you already. You know, I would like to call Matt Cottrell, Victor Fujinami, and Brady Steinmetz to come on up. These 3 Hillsboro Water Department employees are so fast and so good at assembling a hydrant that they compete in national competitions to be the fastest. And they are about to give us all a live demonstration of hydrant hysteria. So while they get ready, I'd like to recognize our new Water Department Director, Nikki Iverson, who's over here on the side. And if you can't see her over there, she's right up here. Nikki was promoted into her leadership role after Kevin Hanway retired this past summer. Nikki, we appreciate you and your leadership and your entire team. Working with the Joint Water Commission and the Utilities Commission, you deliver incredible value for our community, and you keep costs as low as they can be and about the lowest in the metro area. And did you all know that for the cost of a 2-liter bottle of soda, not counting the deposit, you can get about 750 gallons of water through your faucets at home. That is incredible value. And our team is putting together, or the finishing touches on what will be the largest conventional water treatment plant in Oregon when it opens this year. Our water staff also worked with our partners on the Willamette Water Supply System and our finance department to secure a federal loan from the EPA at an exceptionally low interest rate. And this will save Hillsboro ratepayers $125 million over the next 35 years. That's incredible financial stewardship, and I think we can all raise a glass to that. We are grateful to Senator Merkley's and to Representative Suzanne Bonamici for their support and leadership with that. Thanks to our partners with Tualatin Valley Water District and the City of Beaverton, our water supply will continue to be reliable in protecting public health and serving our public safety needs, even providing the water needed to help fight fires through fire hydrants like the one we're about to see assembled. Are you ready? All right. Gentlemen, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, while they're working frantically, I'll tell you a little bit about who they are. Matt Cottrell joined the Water Department in 2013. He served in the U.S. Army for 4 years prior to that. And he has a wife and a daughter who support his love of rock climbing and mountaineering adventures. Their coach, Victor Fujinami, joined the Water Department in 2004. He was raised on a farm, his family's farm in Wyoming, which is where he learned his incredible work ethic. And his son, Brandon, also works for our Water Department. And lastly, Brady Steinmetz has been with the department, our Water Department, since 2015. He was a member of the Coast Guard for 8 years after high school. And he and his wife, Megan, are proud parents of a 16-month-old boy named Otto. And I was also his elementary school principal. So as they finish up, don't ever tell me that government workers don't work hard and don't work fast, because you see right here that they are and they do. And I'm sure you're like me, we always think of the hydrant above. Nice. 1 minute and 36 seconds. Well done. Now, before we finish tonight, I would like your help in helping us kick off our census campaign. So I'd like to invite Shannon Moody of Shannon Moody Photography, who will come up front and take our annual photo. So would everyone please stand up? If you have your button handy, hold it up. Come together in the middle. And this is the part that I love, because I get to look at your faces for the next year. So if you have your button, hold it up. All right, excellent. But we also want you all to help us with our video. So continue to look forward, look at Colin Militich. We are all going to say, Hillsboro counts. Hillsboro counts! At one of my school visits this year, as I walked out of the class, I said to the kids, have a great day. And all the kids said to me, have a great day. But there was one boy who was about half a second behind the others. And his was the last voice I heard as I walked out of the classroom. And he said, have a great life. And so the last thing I want you to hear tonight as you leave is have a great life. And thank you for being here.